I recently started a series called Turning What 50 Taught Me. And so before I get into that, I wanted to say welcome to Simply a Social Worker. If this is your first time on my channel, I just started the channel recently, so it's probably your first time or second. So thank you for joining me, and please subscribe and share the video. It is so important to me to do things that are meaningful, um, to help somebody else, to encourage somebody else, to let someone else know to keep going and they can make it if they try. Those things matter to me a great deal. So I wanted to come on to talk about today what turning 50 taught me. I don't have enough time in the day to really get into a lot of the details of what 50 taught me, but one of the primary things among many is that it taught me that I was enough. I I thought that I knew that. It wasn't a question. I thought I was fine. Not that I wasn't, but I had this thought in my head all the time that I needed to live up to a standard, whatever standard that was. I needed to go to a certain school. I needed to live in a certain neighborhood. I needed to have not necessarily the friends because those things never impressed me, but it was I wanted people around me that were similar to me. It's not that I was not open to other people. I just wanted people around that could understand me. And what I found is that I needed people that didn't always understand me because that helped me to grow. But I didn't know that. I didn't know it mattered to me um, to keep growing in the way that I saw things and in the way that I saw life and what was presented to me. And what I learned after turning 50 is that I grow more from people who are different than me than people who are alike, people who are close, who understand me. I learn better from people who are not. That's just my way of learning. And that's what 50 taught me. Another thing that 50 taught me was I did not have to try to measure up to a standard. What I mean by that is the world standard, whatever the world was doing at the time. Not that I looked at other people and wanted to be like them. I didn't have that, and I'm very grateful for that. I didn't try to look over in somebody else's backyard, so to speak, to try to be like them. I wanted to be the best that I could be, but I was still expected to be a certain way, a standard. It's not something that I think my family imposed on me. If they did, I didn't catch it. I'm a firstborn daughter, but I don't know. I just maybe thought because I'm a firstborn daughter, I'm supposed to be able to do things. I'm supposed to be able to achieve. Nobody actually said that to me. I just took it upon myself. But it was right around, I don't know, a little bit in my 40s, definitely in my 50s. I felt like it's not that I didn't care what other people thought, because I think that we all care to some degree. I just did not care enough that it mattered to me what other people thought. What matters to me is that I'm making a difference in my own life and those that are connected to me. Those things matter to me. I didn't know that before, but right around 50, I think, I don't know if something comes on, a light, I don't know, whatever light. It should have came on years ago. Anyway, it did not. So I could tell that it did, and I was so okay with it. It's a peace that I can't even begin to describe to you unless you, hopefully you're in, if you're in your 50s and you're listening. I think it kind of happens to people in their 40s too, but it was like a moment in my 50s where I thought this, like, I'm never coming this way again. Like, this life, this is it for me. I am never coming this way again. And I need to make this count. I need to make sure that I am present. I need to make sure that I am living in the moment and I enjoy the moment, that I don't do things that I don't enjoy. And if I do something and I just happen to not enjoy it, I won't do it again, or I don't engage in that too much. Um, Not that my life is so full of fun and all that. I don't mean that, but I wanted the moments that I do have to matter. Anything that I set out to do, if I do not enjoy it or if it does not help me to be the best that I can be, not just for myself, for other people. I just have decided I will not do it. It's like I will not do it. Take a job that I don't enjoy, being in office politics that I do not enjoy. I will not do it. And it was something that turning 50 taught me. Why be around a group of people that bring nothing to the table for me? Because I know what I bring to the table. And I didn't really understand that until I turned 50. I had achieved some things academically. I had accomplished a few things that I wanted to do, wrote some books, and just things that I wanted to do, and tried to be present for my adult children. And even with that being said, I think about my adult children, something that I did not consider when I was growing up. That I always wanted to know, was my mother glad when I entered the room? I don't know why I thought that. That's like, yeah, I don't know. Not that I don't know. I don't think she wasn't glad. I don't know. It's just that's another thing there. But I often thought that. It was only after she died that I thought that. But I often wondered, was she glad that I entered the room? Like just coming in the house, just being in the room. For me, I wanted my children to know, who are adult children now, but even when they were very young, I was always so glad to see their face. I was so glad they entered the room. And I actually told them that. Even today, they know that I'm so glad to have them. Uh, and I'm not the kind of parent that lives their lives through their children. Actually, I have to tell them sometime, I got things to do, right? So I'm not one to actually live my life through my children, but I believe they are an extension of who I am. And so I'm very, very glad to have them. And I'm so glad when they walk in the room. And that was not something that I knew about my mother, but I was too young to be able to have the words to say to her. I just was too young. I didn't know to say that. Are you glad I'm in the room? But now that I'm at that place, I want my children to know that I am so glad when they enter a room that I'm in and that they matter. And I did not know these things. I think turning 50, being a half a century, going into being 60, now I'll be 60, that I am okay and I don't have to have everybody cheer for me. I don't have to have a bunch of people around me, that I am enough for myself. And like it is one of the greatest gifts. As a Christ follower, Jesus Christ is my greatest gift, aside from, and not from that, but aside, in addition, or I wouldn't even add to that, but how can you add to that? But um, I'm very grateful that I've come to an understanding of myself. And it's a continuous process. I don't think that you arrive, but I think that being 50 has taught me where I'm at is it's okay. I don't need to prove anything to anybody. I don't need to be have the most expensive car, the most expensive house. I think those things are nice, but that's not who I am. I don't have to have that to be okay, to be confident, to feel self assured, to wake up with a smile, to have joy, to have peace. I don't have to have the things of life to be able to do that. That I have enough self satisfaction. Um, and that's what 50 taught me. And I think sometimes, where was I at before that? What was I doing? I wasn't thinking, evidently. I'm thinking to myself, like, what were you thinking? And I think I was not thinking. I don't know if I would have been ready to understand what turning 50 uh, a gift it is. Some people do not get to even live this long, and I'm very grateful. And now turning 60, I can't even imagine what it will hold. I am I am waiting, I am anticipating, but I'm also embracing. I am not running from. I don't think I've ever been the kind of person that kind of downplayed my age. I don't think you should. Some people do, but again, the point of this video is to encourage you wherever you may find yourself. and understanding what 50 taught you and the tools that you have in your tool belt is so priceless. You can't you can't buy them. Like how could I have bought, understanding and appreciating when my children walk in the room, or appreciating that I don't have to have things to make me feel accomplished. I can't buy that. A book academically, I couldn't have learned that any other way but life. Having been here 5 decades, it's nothing that could have taught me that but life. And it is a gift, and I am grateful. And I am curious, what has 50 taught you? I get to counsel, and I have funny things that happen all the time with the people I get to serve. Not funny at them, but funny things that they do. And like I'll see someone and they are closer to my age and they're still looking and dressing as though they are a teenager, and I have to ask them about that little girl in them or the little boy in them, not understanding that all of us, we have that little girl or little boy that needs to grow up. And it is taken me 5 decades to recognize that it's okay to have that little girl in you or little boy sometimes. But I am more of the woman I've become than I am that little girl that I was. And it's taken me 5 decades to get there. So I am excited and I am grateful. And so, what are you thinking about if you are turning 50, if you are already in your 50s, heading into your 60s like me, or into your 60s or 70s? What has it taught you? Not necessarily about those on the outside, but what about you? What has 50 taught you? I am curious. Please leave a comment, and thank you for watching and subscribe. Have a great day.